Hello everyone, Ace here, and today let's talk a little bit more about Amelia, the latest right-wing meme created courtesy of the UK government, who invented the character as well as the game she stars in as a propaganda piece against the right wing, the very people who co-opted her and claimed her as their own. Well, it turns out the sheer disaster as far as propaganda value is concerned for the UK government has resulted in them deciding to shut it down, which is to say that the game is no longer able to be played from the official government website. If you try to play the game at the time of this particular video, then you'll notice that it is just stuck on an endless loading screen and doesn't actually launch. So yes, the UK government is in fact censoring its own propaganda as a result of how disastrous this has been. The problem here is this is very much trying to put the genie back into the bottle, which, let's be brutally honest, the UK government isn't going to be up to that particular task. If anything, there's a very real chance that this will instead cause the Streisand effect to kick into full gear, causing Amelia as a character to be more widely known, as well as the complete shit show that has been this story, or at least a shit show for the UK government, to also be much more widely known. But that even assumes that the game manages to stay offline permanently. Between the simple coding of the game itself, as is very blatantly evident for anyone that played it, as well as the fact that the technology to download such games off of web browsers has been around for decades anyways, it's not exactly difficult to believe that this game will show back up on a site that the UK government doesn't have control over. Perhaps reverse engineered by someone, because, as I previously mentioned, this game isn't exactly complex in any way whatsoever, or alternatively, as I previously mentioned, potentially even just downloaded and re-uploaded back up wholesale. And this is not even mentioning the fact that Amelia as a character is in full swing as far as meme popularity is concerned for her. The UK government shutting down the game does absolutely nothing to stem the flow of memes. And if anything, like I said, because of the Streisand effect, might actually increase the pace of Amelia being memed as a character. And then there's the fact that there will most likely be fan-made games based around Amelia as a character too. All I'm going to say is don't be surprised if we end up with an Amelia dating sim or something. And these are all things that the UK government cannot prevent. Shutting down their game is simply not enough to stem the tide at this point, and instead is likely going to result in the exact opposite effect of what they intended, kind of like how the propaganda game itself ended up resulting in the exact opposite effect of what they intended. And let's be honest, overall this situation is pure comedy gold. Because at the end of the day, the UK government decided that their best course of action was to censor their own government, or more specifically to censor their own propaganda. That's the most UK government thing I've seen in a while. Turns out the UK government didn't have a license for its own propaganda.